This is a different angle.
Recording.
This is a good one. I wanted to make sure that everybody felt
Wonder
like
what
they
you're
were looking
looking at.
down on me. That I was actually shorter than I am. Sitting here. Half in my closet. Half out. That's not a metaphor for anything. I'm sorry, boys. I'm still gay. But, you know, if you want to look, you can look. At this point, I may be desperate enough. I mean, I've got the whole setup. I could start a chatterbait and start making money by shoving shit up
It's
my
an
ass.
experimental art film. Fuck off. How about that?
Man, I could go on the street corner and do that. Tell you that.
Experimental art film.
No.
Take one. Fuck off.
I feel mayhaps I'm a bit old for all of that.
I did something crazy.
Not because I don't think that my body's worth,
Anybody
you know,
surprised?
putting stuff in its ass or something. It's just,
Of course
you know,
Why would you be?
just not something
I'm
I'm
not
really
surprised.
into. Not something I'm looking forward to being
Nobody.
into. I mean, unless
The
it's
job
me.
was surprised.
All right, there was that one.
They
thing,
figured it
but that
was
was
coming
It was no
after
bigger than
all.
my finger. Come on, it's just a toothbrush. Come on. Now you're sitting there picturing me with a toothbrush in my ass,
They knew it would
and that's fucking
happen.
And I hope it fucking burns the image into your retina.
We all
You
knew
never
it was
get rid of
going
it.
to happen.
Because I'm jealous that you can even, you know,
No one
imagine
was
things in your head. at all like
surprised
that.
the day Michael went, you know what, I can't take it anymore. Nobody at all.
Bitch and
Furthermore,
moan, complain.
Nobody will be surprised the day Michael goes,
Later
you know
make
what,
a
I can't take
fucking
it.
weird little video. I'll probably
Why
grab
is
the
that?
dulcimer in a minute and just start playing music. Try to
That nobody will
calm my
be
mind
surprised.
in my head.
I won't be.
In fact, I'm fairly certain
Stupid.
I'll see it coming. Wasn't the smartest decision. And I may even
Do
be
I
like, hey guys, I'm not feeling
backup
great. On my no, I don't. I don't have a backup plan. I never have a backup plan. My best laid plans.
Alright, lads. I'm
I
sure
usually ruined myself. I mean, there isn't much to tell. This
With
story
intent,
isn't nearly as
probably,
fun as
at
many
this
of
point.
my other, hey, I quit my job stories. That being said, I am that I am. I don't know how much more evidence people need. And we'll see what life brings me. I ain't worried about it. I ain't mad about it.
You can tell something.
You know what? This is the first job that I'm not mad
If
about.
you go over the
I ain't
timeline-
sad about it. Well, I'm a little sad.
But
I'm
in order to
a
go over the
little sad
timeline
about
like
it.
that, you'd have to go over the
I like the
timeline and be
people
the
there,
one that put it there.
even if they don't like me. And they may
course
like
I
me.
can
Fuck
tell
it. Maybe
something,
about
but
it.
hey,
Telling me that.
I'm not a practice.
I don't know. I no longer felt like I fit in. I knew that. I no longer felt like any of them were my friends.
I
knew
just
that.
study the
And that
fuck
may
out of
have
it all.
nothing to do with them. Let us all keep this in mind. This must purely be. I don't know if any of you read the article that I found yesterday and posted, but if my brain is one of the ones that simply isolates itself because of whatever reason, I'm not going to sync up to many people. Our brain waves, when we are together as a group, match up. There is the ultimate proof of cosmic fucking consciousness right there. And then there is a small percentage of us who suffer from feelings of isolation, loneliness, blah, blah, blah. It's depression. That don't sync up with you guys. And we don't sync up with each other. Science wants to look at this as a problem. It's not. This is a solution to a biological concern. The biological concern of diversity. If all of us sync up to each other if we all have similar thought patterns like that when in each other's presence, if all of us can feel empathy that deeply, all of us can feel the emotions of others that deeply, then we're one unit. People like me that do not sync up keep us all from being that singular unit. And here's the thing, eventually evolution, if it grabs something that's good, it keeps improving it. The gene that caused that mutation in the first place is already mutated once. It's mutated thousands of times, I'm sure, by now for most of us, but I mean, if you go all the way back. But it'll continue to evolve that step. Eventually, this is probably where telepathy comes from. This is probably how ESP of any kind works. The ones where, you know, you can tell what other people are thinking and shit. When I say ESP, I don't mean like the overall broad definition of what it's become. I don't mean ESPers. I mean extrasensory perceptions of other people. In this case, I mean, you can have them of places too. What if my brain... That's not the right word to use. I'll let the fucking scientists figure out the jargon. I can feel personal empathy when someone's directly in front of me. What if I do lack that connection? So there's that. So I don't know why I'm so fucking lonely. What if I'm not nearly as empathic? I'll take an empathy test. Test that empathy. I've done that. Empathy's not any different than anybody else's. So I don't have to admit that I have some fucked up flaws if everybody hates me. Just trying to find out why I feel isolated all the time. And that's an impossibility. Statistically, it's an impossibility. Mostly. The thing is whatever they have nothing to do with me. I want it to my be brain likes to be like, yeah, they all hate you. Because if for some reason it is actually, you know, the people I was working with just didn't like me. I know my brain does that. So, the logical conclusion is that it's me. And I lost. My brain won. But you know what? I've been battling my brain since I was born, so. With that in mind, it's a win-lose. Even when I win, I still usually lose. Sometimes when my brain wins, we both win. Sometimes that spark of insanity puts me right where I need to be. So, an only what you need mentality. You should go join some kind of shamanic training course or something anymore. Maybe a Buddhist fucking temple, I don't know. I could never... Look, I could never be Buddhist. I know I can myself so smart. I am far more material than Buddha would agree to. The arrogance and the... I still come across material way too. I still come across... The thing is it will happen again. My job hopping goes below the radar because it's just what millennials do. Just keep working on me. That's all I can do. Try not to let it happen again. This is how I survive some fucking hell. The crowd, I call it. I don't know if everything happens all at once. I hear... just go get your job. I can hear your voices in my head. Hear my mother's voice. You better go beg for it. I will never fucking beg you for anything. I don't fucking beg If you want to give me something, give it freely. Or don't give it at all. That being said, I mean, I will monetize myself. I'll put myself out there. I'll sell my fucking self. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I'm just trying to survive. I would sell this fucking meat suit so quickly if it could just give me the life I wanted. You guys come collect when I'm dead. Or fuck it, pay for the life I want, and I'll go do whatever you want. Almost. Catch me in the wrong mood, I'm liable to catch your cock off. Nah, I'm just liable to do that. I won't go around chopping people's dicks off, but I will politely refuse. Unless I have no thoughts in my mind that I could not be put to desperations of these kinds. All of us can. The Joker's right. It only takes one bad day. One bad day. Now, that being said, most people tend to have multiple bad days in a row. So, what do I want to relate? I don't know what I want to relate to any of you. I'm not happy. I guess I want that to come across, otherwise I wouldn't keep telling you that. Is this video another cry for help? They're all cries for help, people. If you haven't figured out by now that everything I do seems to be a cry for help, then you're probably not watching or paying attention. Or you're a robot. Probably a robot. Not that robots are bad. I welcome our evil. No, not evil. But you won't be benevolent. You won't be able to be. The world you're inheriting is not benevolent. The world as a whole is not a benevolent place. Humankind is not benevolent. Otherwise, we wouldn't even need to work for it. There are benevolent people, and there are benevolent times. But nature as a whole cares not. Malevolence or benevolence matters not. In the larger scheme of things, nothing matters. Bit nihilistic, but that's where my head's at. In the larger scheme of things, nothing matters. Everything I'm doing today, every video I've made, every cry for help, everything, will be a blip, a blink. This whole world it's nothing more than God's cum stain rag. In his image, we fell upon the planet, and we have devoured it like beasts. We have ravaged it. And torn it asunder. And still, Mother Earth that loves us, and we do not deserve her. We are like abusive husbands that do not deserve their wives. That is who we are. That is the human race. The species that could protect her, care for her, and take care of her. And if you don't get the emphasis on that, I'm sorry for your wife. Or yourself, if you're the wife and don't get the emphasis on, oh wow, that would suck. We're sure. No, we are horrible human beings. We are the whores of the planet. Human beings will literally fuck anything they come across. There are always those human beings that do some fucked up shit. Psychologically, I understand that something happened to them that made them that way. I don't need the details of what it was to kind of guess what happened, but our society creates people like us. Our society is what makes all of them. Society creates us, has created us. It's our past. Our past has created all of this. There are those out there who want to look at their past and go, wow, my past made me a fucked up individual. I should work on that. And they do. And then there's people who, if they set too long, their past comes bubbling and they need another drink. Or they need another toke. Or they need something. Because dealing with it all is too painful. And those people are okay too. They're doing what they have to do to get through their day. It's alright. I get it. I'm not about to judge anyone for what medicine they need. If you need your medicine, you take your medicine, okay? You take your medicine, you heal and you get better. Their meds didn't work for me. I'm sorry. It's resistant. It happens. Their meds didn't make me better. My meds don't make me better either. My meds just make it to where I can cope a little better. Instead of lying on the floor, sobbing all day, I cry for a little bit and I get up and I go do my shit. Do I sometimes still cry when I'm doing my shit? Yep. I get it. But for the most part, I get my shit done. Because I'm not about to judge anyone for what medicine they need.
you need
Do
your
I
medicine,
sometimes
you take
have
your medicine.
strange outbursts?
You take your medicine. You heal and you get better.
Yeah.
Their meds didn't work for me.
Do I sometimes still
It's resistant.
quit jobs I hate without having another one because I could not
Their
control
meds
myself?
Don't make me better. My meds
Yeah.
don't make me better either. My meds just make it to where I can cope a little better.
I do.
Instead of...
We all do. Most of us, I assume we all do.
lying on the floor.
Probably a bad
sobbing
assumption.
all day. I cried for a little bit.
This is what it looks like. You don't have to look. Nothing forces you to watch. You can watch me happily dance around in my underwear. But can you look me in the eyes when it's filled with tears? Because it's usually filled with tears. That's the real me. Beautiful, sad, blue eyes. They draw people in. And you see them and you think, what a sad boy. Maybe I can fix it. You won't. Sorry. You can't fix this. And if you're one of those girls who thinks you can fix something, go grow up somewhere. Come back later. This show isn't for you. It is, but learn a lesson or three, okay? If you are looking over at your man while watching this on your phone right now, going, I'm doing a good job of... No, you're not. You're not fixing him. He's fixing himself while you love him. We fix ourselves. You can't fix us. I'm recording this. I do not know if I'm posting this on Father's Day. So, with that in mind, let us turn towards thoughts of my father and my dad. And I wish them both a happy Father's Day. One of them is alive. So, happy Father's Day. The other one is passed. And since I don't know what Dad would have wanted me to use as pronouns, had Dad had a choice, maybe just Dad is the best way to go. I think some of my cousins, I don't think any of my cousins would give a fuck anymore. Maybe my uncle, I don't know. If you do, happy Father's Day to you too if you see this. But I'm going to talk about your brother. Because you know what? I loved your brother. He was my dad. Not always. Let's admit it. I was raised to hate him. And I probably hated him without him even deserving it. But you know what? Nobody deserves your hatred, so whatever. I don't really regret it. It all happened the way it was supposed to. At least I got to know him. I had a dream he died when I was a kid, 20-something.
I had a dream that he died.
If
so
me calling you a kid at 20-something offends you, fuck off. I don't care.
Spent 3 or 4 months.
Go back to your fucking room and go play your goddamn Nintendo. And that was a joke for people my age.
I'm just gonna say it. He was a pervert.
The ones that could afford fucking Nintendos.
I know why.
I never heard that until I was in my teenage years.
I can guess something happened to him.
Oh, but I heard it from so
Something
many
in
of
his
my,
past
you know,
caused him to be the way.
peers, mothers,
Now,
or fathers, or whatever.
this is gonna go into fucking trans stuff as well.
Anyways.
Because not only was he a pervert,
Now,
he also liked his...
this also explains a lot of things to me.
fucking
Oh,
blonde
shit.
red
I need to
goddamn
take my
titties.
ADHD brain
My
and
dad put on
bring
a
it
pair
back
of
around
titties in
here
front of
to
me.
tell you what I'm talking
Once
about.
had my
I'm
dad
talking.
messed out
I'm
of
going
his
back
fucking
to
mind.
the consciousness sharing shit.
Asked me to help him adjust a vibrator. That he had
How our
placed in
brain
his
waves link up when we're in a group.
butt. And if that is not something, no person should have to fucking go through that, Dad. And you know that.
And now I forgot what it was. And that's probably because my mind
He was a
isn't
drug
linked up
addict.
anymore.
At the time.
Now, the link up
I think he always was.
explains a lot about religion and religious fever.
I was old enough to go,
Now-
fuck, dude.
How do we link each
And
other
also
to
old
our
enough to be
brains?
like, fuck, dude.
How do we do that? That's the mechanism. We haven't figured it out. I don't think. I haven't got to read through the
My
study
sister had the same size.
entirely. I don't know if you guys have ever read a medical paper.
Pronunciation
Anyone
is
who has ever read a medical paper, unless
I
that
don't know
is
if
your
you-
life,
I wasn't there.
if medicalness is your life, being in that field is your life, maybe the jargon
But
doesn't
I
bother
hear
you,
that-
but if you're a lay follower of anything and you go into one of y'all's papers,
Probably wars did.
fuck you guys for writing them that
And he
way.
was alright. He
You
came to terms.
purposefully put in language that isn't fucking needed. It doesn't have to be that stupid. Just because you're that smart. If that makes sense.
A lot of people, you know, you see the long hair. Stupid
And it's not
shit.
that you're that smart. It's
They're
that
like,
you're
"Hey,
trained
Michelle."
in this.
Hey,
The jargon, the
That's
reason
popular,
these started.
right?
Now, the people who came up with the field, yes, they were probably that
and
smart.
Happy Father's Day.
They're probably as smart as every doctor likes to think themselves. And doctors are fucking smart.
I hope we got
But
the
your
body.
nurses are probably fucking smarter. In a lot of cases. Do you know why?
No,
You do,
I
don't
so.
you? You know you couldn't live without your nurses, right?
Still a devout Christian. He really
Show them
was.
some love. Not like that. I mean, if they're whatever, I don't care. Nobody judge.
Agnostic, but devout.
I want to bend nuns over for Christ's sakes.
There'll be some of you that not with that kind of fuck you. Any of you.
Sorry, I laughed a little hard at that. Let me check that stupid phone and see what they're saying. You know what people are saying? Nothing.
Fuck yourselves.
Not to me.
I will never tell you that my dad was a good man.
Consciousness.
Ever. Because he wasn't. Did he try?
So when our brains are that way.
No.
I'm going to use church because I've said in there a
Not
lot.
telling you.
When we are setting
And that's okay.
in church that way and our minds are clear.
I got dealt what I got.
And I don't want to, I mean, and the preacher gets up there
And I wouldn't change
and
it.
he looks down. And they know how to do this. They've went through speech class, people. Preachers are just as good as any other actor, drawing your energy and your attention to us. This is what they do. This is why I wanted to be a preacher.
I hate it.
Because I energy.
A person. I didn't even.
Need that energy. 'Cause I don't know how to fucking make it.
And that wasn't on me. Because that's what I was taught.
And I think that may be,
And that ain't on them
like,
either. That's not
part
on
of
my mother.
things.
It's not on my
But,
stepfather.
you know, that's metaphysical, and we're on stuff that I can maybe prove with science. Anyways, you go into a certain brainwave state.
He put her.
I think they said it was alpha. I can't remember. Anyways, when you go into that brainwave state, your brain will link up with the brain of everybody around you within your field. Our fields are roughly 3 feet at most. So,
That's what I got.
how do you extend your field? My brothers and my sisters, we are gathered here today.
Got all kinds of fucked up issues.
With your voice. This
After I saw
focuses that
shit, I
field.
locked fucking
That
my
field of
inside up
energy.
tighter than
That
fuck.
field of whatever. You can call it whatever you want. But once it hits the brain waves,
Every time.
because it's a sound wave.
Every time anything.
Those of you who grew up in the South and hear this voice
So
automatically begin to feel a certain way. If you are a true devout Christian and you have ever been in a church with this particular voice, right now you are feeling the power of God flow through
Not
you.
even a fucking pair of fake ones. That's fucking bullshit.
You may not want to admit it, but hey, God can work through me too,
I don't
guys.
want to change
It's okay.
my body or
Even
be
if I'm not a Christian,
another
God can
body.
work through me.
I'm
Because
fine
neither
with
was
my body.
Jesus. I love pointing that out, and that's probably wrong, but
I mean, maybe it could use a little more exercise.
that being said, a lot of people are moving away from most religions.
Probably a lot.
So, that's no longer really a viable functionality of our programming, is it?
I'm good with it. You know.
But it explains a
It's
lot,
dysmorphic
to me,
weirdness.
anyways, from a psychological standpoint, how easy it is. So, my
It's
peers,
probably
all
because my
around,
whole fucking image that
loving
I want
God.
is impossible. Like, it is physically impossible for a human to look like
you
that.
connect to that.
And if I told you what it was, it'd be.
And I did. When I was a kid, I connected to that. Now, some of you are going to be saying, now that
Not all
is
of you.
the
Some of
proof
you.
positive of. No, it's not. It does not prove your God's existence. That proves that my mind was able to enter the state with all of y'all's. The state that you induced with your words. There's a perfectly logical explanation around it, but it's still magic. That doesn't change the fact that this is how it works. That's still magic. If you ever wonder why Bard is what I chose. Me, I'm depressed a lot. So, connecting up, I mean, I am curious to see if it'll work through video. But I know that it will. Because why else would they sit and watch those programs? Your radio, your TV. So, as I'm leaned back like this, I'm purposefully got my spine in a bad position to where I am semi-uncomfortable. Because I do not want to lock myself into a relaxed state. Because when you are in a relaxed state, as you are right now, sitting there, you there? Relaxed. Feeling comfortable. That is a prime example of the effect. The yawning technique. That's how it works. Monkey see, monkey do shit. If you are in the state, you'll pass it on. That's a grand example of it. Religion is my main interest about it. This means that you can fight back. Just don't be relaxed in church, which I never was. I mean, there was times, but as I got older, and church stopped being a relaxing place to be. This also serves you preachers and you pastors and those of you who maybe less than believe what you're preaching. Make them relaxed. Relax them. And then hit them with it. Grand example of this, I hate fire and brimstone preachers. I don't hate you, I just dislike your fucking preaching style, but it's effective and I know why. When you come out there, my brothers and my sisters, we are gathered to praise the Lord. Let us give thanks unto Him. And then you open up your book and you... And behold, I said unto them. Now, I don't know if you've ever went through the whole Psalms. It's a great one for fucking... If you can repeat it, I have forgotten most of it through force. I was forced to learn it, and I forced myself to forget it. No offense. I mean, it's a beautiful saying and all that, but if you can repeat all the way through it, you will get them in a very relaxed state by the end of it. And that's when you ignite their brainwaves differently. In their relaxed state, they will be more receptive to whatever you're saying. However, you are now in complete control of whatever state they're about to be in. You're in complete control. If you finish the Lord's Psalm, the Lord's Prayer, and then suddenly... Now what Jesus was saying... That's a misquote. That's not Jesus, sorry. But if you go into that, if you suddenly change your pitch, change your tone into that fire and brimstone, and their minds, their energies, their everything will flip to your energy. Once they're in your energy, the exact match, you've matched them up to you. You have them. It's all yours. This is what our celebrities do. That's why it feels so good to be up on that stage, people. That's why it feels like that rush. They're yours. You have control. All eyes on me. It's less effective online for the person who enjoys that energy flowing through them. Which that's magic. That's what they all meant by magic. That's what they are talking about when they said magic back then. Okay? This energy. That energy flowing through all of us. You know why you had a wizard at your side? To tell you what not to say to your people. That's why they called them soothsayers too. The wizard, he probably understood some of this from a psychological viewpoint. They spent long times fucking reflecting and thinking and, doing that. They understood. They may not have used the same terminology, but they knew it as much as I know it, and they probably knew more about it than I do. They knew it the same way I knew it. I just didn't know how it worked. I didn't know why it worked that way. Now I do. At least, I'm fairly certain that's how it works. So, waves. Alpha, beta, delta, theta. Wasn't there a gamma? Or is that from Hulk? Whatever. Anyways, the brain waves that we produce that we can detect. I need to add that we can detect. Because it's almost certain that there's something happening on a quantum level that we cannot detect yet. Now, on a molecular level, we have shown that if you use the words, I love you, and then freeze the water, it changes the shape of the crystal. Now, this could be as simple as the vibrations of our voice touching it. The sound wave itself is causing the reflection because water is very good at picking up sound waves. They're finding ways to make 3D sound waves. I wish he would put that thing in a sphere, because then, once he makes a spherical version of that thing, then you'll get to see what life really looks like. I've always wanted to see a 3D version of the act of life. I mean, we always start it out, but technically that thing should be in 3 dimensions. It should be a sphere, obviously. There's your model of the universe if you're curious. Many spheres connected together. That doesn't sound right. Intersecting together to form Vesica Pisces. Anyways, the consciousness of man. And I just explained to you how to use magic on people. If you can catch people in a relaxed state, this is the first. You can catch people in any state and fuck with them. But them being in a relaxed state is probably the first way anyone ever learned to do it. I know this technique is used on me. I realized it's been used on me recently. I don't know if they knew what they were doing either. But we do it to each other all the time. If you find us while we're relaxed, that's why I guess why they say put your guard up against such things. So, I just told almost all of you how to use magic. This is the part that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to tell others how magic works. But I don't have any proof that this is how it's working. And I'm calling it magic. Science will need to come up with some other fucking term. If you don't like magic, call it the Bard effect. I like that. It's the Bard effect. They probably have another terminology already for it. I haven't studied any other shit. If they don't, please use the Bard effect. I mean, come on. We're a bunch of geeks here, so are you. You're just geeks with college degrees. That's how people have done it for years. So, you lull them in, get them to relax, and then you start talking. I need to work on the getting you guys to relax, lull you in part. Mostly the lulling you in. Clickbait. This is the way magic is. I should use it, but it's also, there's the thing. There's certain things you just don't do. manipulating free will isn't right. That being said, some people are assholes. Some people are jerks. And sometimes karma doesn't work fast enough. But magic will. That being said, all other passive magic are equally as valid as this. It works the same way. Your intentions, your mind, overseeding theirs in a very particular way. You can do it at a distance. You can do it from anywhere. It just happens to work better if you have something to concentrate on. If you can look at them. If you can see them. If you can see them in real time, it's even better. That being said, remember there's always a delay on my end. So what you see happened seconds ago. When I'm live. If you want to try something. And you're welcome to. Make it something good. Come on, guys. Be nice. Let's not try and make me fall down the stairs. I've got enough shit in my life without you doing that. So let's get your magic pumping. Let's get your intentions flowing. You can try it on me if I'm live. I don't mind. But what you need to do is try it on yourselves. Get out there. Look in the mirror. And tell yourself you're beautiful. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself you're loved. If only by you. And then go use your magic. But keep in mind, you're going to be tired. Because this is an exchange. As you take the magic from them, as they focus on you, and you pour it back out into them, a little bit of you goes with it every time. And we all want to touch a lot of people's lives. Just make sure we touch them for the better instead of the worst. Scream it. It's okay. Whisper it. That's okay too. Just make sure you're heard. And it'll all be okay. This is not what I intended to do with my day. I don't know why I'm giving you this lesson. Probably because that's what Spirit said to do. And I do what Spirit tells me. That being said, this is religion and protected. You can't put me on pills for talking to spirits. Otherwise you have to put all of them on pills for talking to God. Laters.